The international definition for indigenous rights is based on 5 characteristics. Number 1 is the coalescence of a culture group on the land. Number 2 is the ability to declare oneself and the group as indigenous. Number 3 is maintaining a distinct culture and language and religion. That means it's something that's not happening anywhere else in the world. Number 4 is having a unique sociocultural form that's different than any other place in the world. Number 5 is having a desire to reproduce the culture and maintain it into the future in that place. The Jewish people fit this definition in a way that's absolutely undeniable. The historical evidence that they have as having coalesced as a people here on the land is abundant and coming out more and more even to this day. When we look at the language is something that has been revived, while at the same time it's been something that has been continued to a point to be able to be revived. In addition, the religion is distinct, and while we may have had a period of exile, the people here have a religion that's based on being in the land. And returning to the land has meant that they have been able to come home to the birthplace of their religion. In addition, when we talk about having a desire to reproduce the culture, it's completely undeniable that the people of Israel, the Jewish people, are dedicated to bringing back their culture. They are the only people in the world that have been in exile and separated for their lands for such a long period of time and successfully returned to the lands and continued to maintain their culture and even extend their culture in ways that it wasn't even before. There are other indigenous nations in the world that have attempted sovereignty. However, none have been successful and none have been able to achieve that final case of sovereignty like Jews in Israel. They stand as a light among nations, as an example to other groups of what can happen when they can achieve what is to all indigenous people their final goal, and that is sovereignty. If we were to allow other ethnic groups, such as Arabs, to claim that they're indigenous to a place that they're not indigenous, we're allowing a precedence to be set in international law whereby colonists can take lands from indigenous people that need to be held in their hands. A grave violation of international law that just can't be repeated anywhere. It's critical to indigenous people all over the world that they support the sovereign right that Jews have to their own lands. If we were to allow colonists to come and state that lands were theirs and that they were indigenous when indeed they were not, it would violate the indigenous rights of lands for all indigenous people around the world. So I'd like to make a special call to people that are indigenous to support the indigenous rights of the Jews to the lands that are their homelands. I am Dr. Nan Marie Greer, and you're watching JTV.
To stay up to date with the latest JTV content, if you're on YouTube, click subscribe below the video and the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, click the like button, and under following, click see first.